Hey there. So I always put the date and time on my videos, and apparently this causes some of the idiots around to think that I am autistic because I like to document, the demographics of the videos that I make. I am surrounded by people with inferior intellect and just abject stupidity because they are incapable of understanding why anyone would do something that maybe they don't do themselves, right? So I'm just going to say this. A sign of intelligence is to be able to think outside the box of what you normally do or what you normally understand, to consider other possibilities as to why somebody would do something. Stupid people see something that they don't understand and call it crazy. That's how you know you're dealing with pathetic, inferior, low IQ nut jobs, because they call everything they don't understand crazy. People with superior intellect and high intelligence are able to think outside of their normal, routine way of understanding things to consider alternative possibilities and different explanations than the ones they would normally come up with from their box of, limited experience, right? When you have limited experience, you can't always understand why other people might do something because you haven't been where they are. For instance, I can't understand why anybody would want to climb Mount Everest. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that to yourself? But there are quite a few people on this planet who want to climb Mount Everest and who do everything they possibly can to get there. And then when they're up there, they experience things and go through things that nobody else can understand. I can only imagine that maybe if you've achieved a lot of things already in your life, climbing the world's highest peak might appeal to you. I am trying to think outside the box to understand why anybody would want to climb the world's highest mountain when it is so dangerous, so impossible to get to. And then once you're up there, you have to make your way back down. It's like, and it's freezing. I mean, you're cold, you're uncomfortable, there's no warmth. You can fall into, crevasses and die or stay there for days and then, die of dehydration or freeze to death. Or, I mean, you can literally fall off that mountain to your doom. I mean, why would anybody do that? But people do. And I'm not going to call them crazy. I'm going to try to understand that maybe that is the type of superhuman achievement that appeals to people who are themselves overachievers. If you're an overachiever, maybe climbing the highest mountain on the planet appeals to you. I am not that kind of overachiever. Did I overachieve a bit in my academic pursuits by getting, graduate degrees in two different fields or pursuing graduate degrees in two different fields? Yes. Biology and biological sciences, tumor biology, angiogenesis, are very different than clinical developmental psychology. Those are two very separate fields. One of them is a hard science, the other one is a social science, mixed in with some clinical empirical elements. So clinical psychology is probably somewhat of a hard science because you do have to treat scientifically documented disorders and things like that. So it is a form of science. It's not just, social psychology. It is a bit more of a scientific pursuit, let's put it that way. But I do have two separate fields under my belt in terms of degrees and graduate degrees that could be considered a bit of an overachieving thing. I didn't stick to my field. I kind of went out and did something different. But no, I'm never going to climb Mount Everest, and I don't want to. But I can try to put myself in the shoes of people who do and understand why maybe that would appeal to certain people who are super duper focused and who like to challenge themselves beyond anything that other people might normally, do or want to do. But I'm surrounded by people who don't understand anything other than their own sad, pathetic, limited way of doing things. So they think that because I put the date and time on my videos in order to make sure that I know exactly when it was filmed in case I need to retrieve it for any kind of legal or personal reason, then I don't have to scroll through, all of the timestamps on my videos. I can just listen to the video and remember when it was made or be able to verify when it was made. But, I'm dealing with some abject low-life scum retards in this building. And when I say low-life scum, I mean low-life scum. It has nothing to do with skin color. I'm not referring to anyone's race, you pathetic idiots, because skin color has nothing to do with anything. Obviously, it's about behavior. It's about what people do with their sad, wasted lives. The Greenville group, unfortunately, caters to sex offenders. That's a fact. There's a large number of registered sex offenders living in all of their buildings. And because that's their business model, that's simply what they do. These sex offenders have not just done some very bad things, but they have this innate behavioral need to continue to do very bad things. They harass people, they stalk them, they put surveillance devices in their bathrooms. I'm not referring to normal people who mind their own business and achieve things for themselves. I'm talking about low-life scum. Sex offenders are low-life scum. They prey on other people who are simply minding their own business and going about their daily lives. They molest children, they rape women, they place surveillance devices inside people's toilets and then live stream them using their toilets. That's what the sex offender named Jasmine Arizari has been doing to me for years, and confirmed by the psychotic creeps who are constantly shouting things at me, the other sex offenders in this building, that they get to see my ass from the inside of the toilet. So I'm not the one coming up with that. That's these low-life scum telling me what they focus their entire lives on, watching other people use the toilet from the inside of the toilet. Now that is messed up, and I'm not the one who has anything to do with that. I'm simply going about living my life like a normal person, and they're the ones who are proving their pathetic inferiority and their mental disorders by bragging to me about what they do. That's what they focus their lives on, looking at other people's asses. That's how you know you're dealing with low-life scum. So when I refer to these low-life scum as low-life scum, that's exactly what they are, because they're literally looking at life from the bottom of other people's toilets. And that's how you know you're dealing with low-life scum. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It has nothing to do with skin color, everything to do with behavior and the content of what they do with their lives, which is to spend their entire sad, rejected existences perving and creeping all over what normal people do in the privacy of their living spaces. And literally, again, they spend their sad, wasted, rejected lives looking at the world from the bottom of other people's toilets, as they have told me and as they have bragged to me, as if this is some type of achievement on their part. Can you imagine the psychotic pervertedness that it takes to place surveillance devices inside someone's toilet? Probably not just mine. I mean, why would they stop with just my toilet? I'm sure they've placed them in other toilets in this building, right? Maybe in the common bathroom so they can perv and creep all over everybody else. From the inside of a toilet, not even around the toilet, inside the toilet. I'm assuming it's probably under the rim somewhere where, it doesn't get, dislodged if you scrub the toilet or whatever. Isn't that so sick and twisted? And then these people brag about it. That is low-life scum. That is the definition of low-life scum. These psychotic perverts that the Greenville group rents to, who brag to me that they get to see my ass from the inside of my toilet, and that is their greatest achievement. The term low-life scum doesn't even begin to cover it. So I'm just going to leave it right there and let you think about that.